In this video, we're going to focus on how we can create two y-axes here. So you can see we have two scales, but not only that, we have fixed values here set on. So if I hover over, you can see here, this is the values as well. They're very high, but we have a fixed value here of 2, and here as well of 2, and here of 10 and 10. And we can control this completely from one to another, whatever we want. In this video, I will cover that right now. In this video, we're going to focus on one of the viewers' questions, which is how to create two y-axes with fixed values in Chart.js. So this question came from one of my viewers on one of my other videos about here how to set in Chartjs a fixed negative scale. And this was a video from Chartjs 2.9, and of course right now we're working with Chartjs 3.5. And the question came from here, from Ganesh Jagdale. So first of all, a special thank you to Ganesh for asking the question. And this is what he says. Thanks for the video. I have two y-axes left and right, and I want to fix probably here the value scale for both y-axes. Please help me here. Alright, so I assume this is the value of that scale. And if that's not, just put in the comment here once you see the video, just explain it more deeper. However, let's start to explore how to do that right now. So first of all, what we're going to do is we need to get the default code. So I recommend you to go to chartjs3.com getting started. Once you're here, scroll down here and you will see here all the code that we need. So just copy this chunk of code. And if you would like to understand what this code does, please check this video here. Alright. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to just paste this in here and then just quickly cut out the title, which is for me, not for you necessarily. And then I save this and refresh. Alright, so now I have this here and we have now this nice bar chart. So what I'm going to do here, because we're going to have a fixed scale, but we need to have a x-axis on one side and on the other side. So left and right we have both x-axis. Sorry, that's not an x-axis, it's the y-axis here in this case, because we are working on this and that side here. Alright, so how to do this? Well, first of all, what we need to do here is let's create another data set in here. So I'm going to copy these two data sets here. And then what I will do is, just for the sake of it, to make sure that it's very clear that we have two different data sets, that I will change the colors here. I'll show the color here and there, and then just remove all other colors. So here as well, I will just say weekly cost. And this could be 9, 9, and here 9, and here 9. Alright, so we have that here, very nice. Delete all of these colors here just for the sake of it, so we can see quickly the differences. Alright, so if I save this, what I want to do here, just for the sake of it, because we want to have fixed values, so I'm going to extend certain values in such a way that we know it's very high and easy to spot. So we have this here. If I refresh here, oh, let's see, I think I forgot a comma. We have these, weekly sales. There you are. The commas here I forgot. Make sure you have these commas. And there you are. Okay, so now we have this here. And you can see this is a very extensive one. The next thing what we need to do here is create a y-axis value. And this is quite nice because we can give it a own specific value. So let's say here, for the sake of it, I'm going to say here, this will be a y-axis ID. And then this one will be equal percentage. I'm just making it up, but maybe one side will be the percentage, while the other side would be the actual or the absolute values in a certain unit. So that's one here. And this one I want to eventually position it to the right side. So we have this here. Then do another one here, comma, and this will be, let's say, dollar amount. Y-axis, or let's say dollar. Dollars, money, or anything, whatever currency you use. Maybe currency is a better name. Currency, so it's very suitable. Alright, so we have this here. Now what happens basically is two things. We're getting now a y-axis here, but what happens is duplicates almost 3 times. And the reason why here it duplicates 3 times is, first of all, it understands there are multiple, and it also gets the default y-axis here. That's why we have this one here, we have the value of that one, and we get the default value that is still unclear what it is according to Chart.js. So now we're going to clarify that. So in here we have the scales. And in the scales, we need to now indicate, because you can see here, this is the y-axis right now. We have a default y-axis, that's this one here in the center. That one needs to be removed eventually. We don't want a y-axis because our y-axis here will be has a different name. What exactly it is, this one and that one. So that's what we now have to specify here. Instead of y, it has a different name. So what we're going to say here, in the scales, we say the liters, or sorry, not the liters, this is of course not liters, it's currency. So we say here currency. And what we could do, maybe that would make far more sense, just to put it in small letters here. So we have here the currency. So basically here we created an object, and this object is now being recognized as the object for the y-axis scale. And then in here we can say the following. First of all, we need to indicate the type. So we say type, and this is linear. This is a string value. So linear, comma, and then we say where do we want to position it. Then we say here the position of the currency will be left side and the percentage will be on the right side. So we have this one here. And basically your currency is the first one. We can do a comma here, and then we say here the percentage. And then what we will do here, type as well, linear, comma, and then we have here the position, and then we say here left. Sorry, not left, right, because we want to put this at the right side here. So if I save this right now and refresh, now we have it, and you can see here we have these grid lines. You can make this nicer by removing the grid lines here. We could remove from one specific item the grid line. We could do it from the numbers here, or we can do it from the percentage. In this case, I would say I will remove it from the percentage. So the percentage and these are quite similar, so that's fine. So to remove from the percentage, comma, and then we say here grid, and we say here display false. So basically we're going to say now we don't want to show any grid lines, and we say here grid instead of grid lines because in Chartjs 3 we use grid now. Now you can see here it looks nice. It looks quite similar, but it's not. As you can see, it's slightly higher here, and then after that it will be not that 100% synchronized with this, but it's acceptable. I would say that's collateral damage, so we can accept that. So the next thing what I want to do now is to indicate the maximum value here. But let's say we only want to show from 2 up till 10, and everything else should be just clipped out. That's what happens then. So what you can do here is the following. You just say here minimum to indicate the minimum value you want to show. It's like 2, comma, and the maximum it will be 10. So if I do this now and save this and refresh, nope. You can see here right now it doesn't work 100%. So let me double check. Am I forgetting something? Comma. Make sure you have a comma. Refresh. And there you are. So what is happening now? It clips out the values that are surpassing the max scale here. Well, it will not hurt or modify anything regarding to the percentage here, which is really nice because this it understands the nuances between the two without hurting or damaging one of the other. However, so I assume here we want not only here fixed values, but we also want the fixed values here. So we could do it here in the right, and then we say put in here minimum and max. Make sure you have a comma here because the grid is here as well. So refresh here, and now you can see we have both fixed values, and these fixed values can be any value itself, and it will not damage anything of your chart. And that's basically how you can put a fixed value on one side of the chart and a fixed value as well on the other side of the chart. And this could be dynamic in whatever value you want. So this is basically how to do it. Next, what I highly recommend you, if you're interested in this to go even deeper, is definitely check out the arrays series that I have about Chart.js. This covers a lot of topics about arrays, which can be very useful as well when you combine these values together, even with data sets. That would be also another topic that's interesting. These and data sets are really powerful together once you understand them.